Jason Ford from Adobe will join us with presentation about artificial intelligence in commerce and tools that Adobe provides to make it possible and easy to use to implement in the project. So Jason is a lead from the Adobe Solutions team. Unfortunately, couldn't join us in person, so this is the first online presentation. But I'm really happy that he can join with the presentation. Please remember about questions. You can add questions on a hop-in in chat, and we will pass it to Jason so he can answer them to make it as interactive as possible. And I think that's it. So Jason, I would say the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Cuba. Hi, everyone. I'm apologizing that I can't be there with you guys today. I've been to Poland a few times, and it's a great place to come and visit. And I know there's a huge community out there. So yeah, I really apologize. Hopefully sometime soon I can come out and do a similar presentation. But what we're going to do, and the guys have been very kind and allowed me to do a live demonstration as well as some presentation. So it's not just all slides today, but we're going to very quickly cover some of the personalization features, AI product recommendations that are built into Adobe Commerce. But then we'll also cover the new live search features, and we'll go through that. So bear with me. We will go through some slides, but then you actually see the features in real sort of real world demo scenario as well. So we'll kick straight off. And what we're going to look at first is the product recommendations powered by Adobe Sensei. So hopefully that's coming through to you guys. So everyone knows what product recommendations are. Obviously, we've been able to do product relationships in Adobe Commerce and Magento for a long time, but it's been a very manual process. And when we've wanted to introduce something that is a little bit more personalized to the shopping experience, we've always needed to go to third parties. Now that's not necessarily the case. We can do that all from within the platform. And ultimately what we're doing that for is to improve the customer experience, get them to products more quickly, more readily, without us having to put in tons and tons of effort into identifying all of these different key personas that we're going to then have to set customers to, set products to, and then adjust that when we have different inventory and new products. We want that to be as automated as possible. Now, if we jump to the next slide, just like I was saying, by increasing that personalization throughout the shopping experience, we're actually able to drive, more revenue, more customer engagement, better conversion rates, higher average order value throughout the whole shopping experience. And that's really what customers are looking for. And, there's a lot of studies around how personalization, done well actually leads to a much better conversion rate and a much more brand satisfaction from the customer's perspective. Oh, got some more stats on there. So what are we doing for product recommendations? Well, we want to deliver product recommendations to every shopper. Okay, and that should be unique and individualized based on their shopping history, based on the products that they've got in their basket, based on all of these things. They're aiming to grow that average order value and increase that conversion rate. The way that we're doing this is we're building on top of Adobe Sensei. Now, Adobe Sensei is Adobe's AI machine learning platform. I'm sure a lot of you have heard a lot about it before. It's recognized industry-wide as a leader in AI and machine learning. And what we're doing is building in features and functionality into the Adobe Commerce platform that leverages that without you guys having to put in loads of time and R&D into essentially creating technical debt for yourselves for, these features that should be relatively easy to implement with something like product recommendations. So as you can see, what industry-wide Adobe Sensei is known for providing a great, rich set of features and functionality for AI and artificial intelligence, you can see we've got nearly 100, over 100 features across all of Adobe that are all being powered by Adobe Sensei. So that goes right across from, product recs and live search that we're talking about today in Adobe Commerce, through the rest of the digital experience cloud, and all the way through into the creative cloud as well. And AI is becoming more and more prevalent in everyday situations. So being able to leverage that and adapt with that movement is really key to success. Now, when we're talking about product recommendations built inside of Adobe Commerce, you can see that we've got a lot of different features in here. So everything from different recommendation types, you can see a few there. We've actually added to this list since this slide was created. We've now got a sort of visual comparison, visual similarity recommendations as well, which actually uses the AI to look at the product imagery and make recommendations for similar products. But we've also got exclusion rules and being able to filter by categories and those sorts of things, as well as the ability to just add these product recommendations anywhere on site. So we have the kind of drag and drop, you just drop it in wherever you need to, product page, category page, cart page, those sorts of things. But you can also use Page Builder to just drop this in onto a blog page, into a landing page, home page, and make those pages more interactive and ultimately make them merchandisable. Now, when we're adding product recs, we want to make it as easy as possible. And so it is a very simple module installation that you can essentially launch the module, you plug in your APIs that you can grab from your Magento Cloud account, and then it's essentially up and running. And I'll take you through how easy it is to kind of create those recommendations and just drop them into different places on the site. Obviously, then you get some reporting on those. You can work out which rules are working well, which ones need more work or more tweaking. But essentially, it's up and running, and it will be learning from your customers, learning from your products, and making those recommendations to the end user. We also have PWA support. So any of you guys that are building out on PWA Studio, you're able to use this. With product recs and live search, they were built API first, essentially. So there's a lot of API functionality behind there to make use of in your PWA solution. So you're not necessarily tied to Luma or anything like that to be able to get this up and running. So we want to make sure that product recs are as easy as possible to manage and maintain. So we provide all of the feature sets in the admin for you to go in. And again, we'll take you through this as part of the demo of how easy it is just to go in, create a new recommendation, have that recommendation pushed live, and it will start showing to customers as soon as it can realistically make a recommendation to those users. In terms of creating each of those recommendations, it's just a list of tools that you have to go through. You just select your key options. It will even give you a preview on that right-hand side and show you, roughly what that recommendation is going to look like for an individual user. And you can start to tailor that if it's something that's based on, the products that the customer has got in their basket. You can predefine those and see what the results would look like, see how they're going to change between different users who have different products in their basket. And finally, choosing the inclusions and exclusion filtering. Now, my recommendation for this would be try and do a bit of a light touch on this. So you have got full flexibility to, exclude whole categories of products and, sort by price and filter by price and those sorts of things. Generally, what you want to do is let the AI recommend products to the end user. You might want to say, let's exclude out of stock products, okay, from the recommendations, because we don't want that experience for customers. We don't want them to go through to a product that is out of stock. But generally, unless you're putting these recommendations on a category and you want to just include products from that category, then you can kind of leave these as very light touch inclusion and exclusion filters for the customer. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to try a quick screen share, and hopefully all goes well. Right, fingers crossed that is screen sharing to you guys. So as I said before, we can include these product recommendations anywhere on site. So we can use page builders to load them into home pages and have home pages adjust depending on the type of customer that's coming to the site. So for instance, when somebody first lands on the site, you might want trending products to be on the homepage. However, next time they come back to the site, let's say they've been viewing certain products in one category. We want a recommendation in here, which is maybe more tailored to view this, view that type suggestions to see if we can get customers to re-engage with that certain category that they've already been browsing. And obviously that works really well with the customer segmentation and dynamic content that's also available in Adobe Commerce to provide even more unique features. But this is just literally a drag and drop way of including some personalization, even if you don't want to redesign the whole homepage. Now we can go through into, for instance, into a product page, and there will be, product recommendations down here that you can do, similar products, visually similar products. So looking at the actual product imagery and find other products that are visually similar. For our example today, why don't we have a look at the basket page? So this is quite a common one. If we go through to the basket, if we go through to the basket, customer has got to this stage, they've added some products into their basket, right? Maybe we want to make some more recommendations down here. At the moment, we've got some product relationships that are built in that are loading these options, but maybe we want to start using some AI product recommendations in here. So how do we go about that? Well, we jump into the admin, we go into marketing and click on product recommendations. All we're going to need to do is click on create product recommendation. We'll give it a name. So customers also bought. We can choose the page type that we want this to go on. So in our case, we want it to be on the basket page or the cart page. So we choose that. We can then choose the recommendation type. So like I said, homepage, first time visitor, you might want trending, but maybe a bit further into the user journey, purchase journey, we might be looking at more viewed this, bought that, bought this, bought that. So if we're looking at, their basket contents, and we're saying, right, what else did customers buy? We're probably looking at this option down here. We can give it a name, a presentation label or title. So you might also like, choose the number of products to show. We can then choose a positioning, so we can prioritize the product recommendations as well. So use multiple product recommendations in the same area. And then we've got filtering options. As we said before, we're going to very light touch this just to see how we get on with it. So exclusions, we're going to exclude out of stock products. Just tick those boxes. All we need to do is then click activate. And what it will do is start analyzing and looking to show these product recommendations to the end users as they're coming through the site. Now, you do get some statistics up here of click-through rates and views and those sorts of things. Really, the main one that we're looking at is things like click-through rate. Okay, so if we were looking at views and we were showing it to loads of people, but we're maybe only seeing a couple of clicks, that's probably not the greatest recommendation to be showing people. So really what we want to do is see those interactions, see those click-throughs, and that's what we should be looking at when we're looking at these reports, to see how people are interacting with these, to see which ones are working well, where we need to maybe tweak them, tweak the inclusions and exclusions a little bit. Okay, we're going to go back to the presentation and Perfect. Thank you very much. And now we're on our sort of live search side. So obviously ask any questions in the chat and the guys will bring it up to me towards the end, or I will stay on and answer any questions in the kind of chat pod as we as we finish up as well. So live search, new feature announced a few months ago, or publicly made generally available a few months ago, but it was actually in early access testing for a good few months before that. Something that we've been working on for a while to make as good as possible, and it's a logical next step for for the AI engine that we're working with inside Adobe Sensei. So it's important to understand why search is important to our customers. So generally, we're seeing higher conversion rates with customers that are using search. So you can see there, conversion rates up to 50% higher for those customers that are using search. And nearly a third of customers are using search to try and find those products on the average site. These numbers can change quite wildly depending on the sort of industry and the vertical and the types of products that you're using, how many products you've got on site. But it's very clear that search and giving a good search experience is incredibly important. And that's the whole aim around live search, is to make sure that our customers are getting the best possible experience with search on our sites. So how do we go about that? Well, the main things that we have here, okay, the main things that we need to do is have a really strong index of all the products, all the attributes, all the information about those products. Then we need to take into account that not all customers are searching the same thing. We need to take into account that not all of the products have the same attributes and same information. We need to take into account spell checking and autocomplete and all of these types of features that customers just expect us to have and have sorted for them, no matter how they're coming into our site. So the final bit that we need to do is we need to apply intelligence to this. And there's a lot of ways that you can do this, very manually, and create sort of, okay, we want to merchandise product by product how we want each of these search results to go. It's incredibly time consuming, and it's not like the best method of covering all of your customers. And we know a third of our customers are using search to find it. We're not going to be able to do that for every customer. And also, we're not going to be able to adapt that every time the customer comes back, every time we have new products coming to the site. So that's where intelligence comes in. Okay, being able to put in things like synonym rules and being able to put in boost and bury type rules across periods of time, and being able to have the AI automatically decide what order the product attributes and filters should be listed in, depending on the type of search that the customer is making. These are all really important features to the end user experience and getting the customer to the product that they want to purchase as quickly as possible. So what's the current state of the sort of search within Magento? Well, you've got the Magento sort of built-in search. We've got the Elasticsuite.io option, and then we've got third-party options like Algolia and SwiftType and Clayvu, and each of those have pros and cons about them, and you've got a couple of those up on screen at the moment. Oh, sorry, I don't think the slides would continue. There we go. Hopefully you guys are all caught up with those slides. So yeah, we've got a few different options for search in the past. Each of them have pros and cons, and ways of needing to work with them. Maybe one makes sense over the other for your type of business. But what we're looking to do is provide a out-of-the-box solution that kind of hits all of those pros with very little in the way of cons. So what we're doing is introducing our live search functionality. It allows you to do things like boost and bury. It allows you to pull in incredibly quickly search results. There's no additional licensing or anything like that. It's all just built into the original license. There's no per 1,000 query additional fees or anything like that. So you can have customers use this as much as you want. Won't be costing you any more. It's again powered by Adobe Sensei. So, you know, best in class AI and machine learning technology going into this. Adobe Sensei is used by a lot of different, very rich user experiences across a wide range of Adobe products to provide search features like this. And we're using all of that technology, but giving it to you as essentially a plug and play feature set that then translates into better customer experiences. And talking about customer experiences, we'll have a look at what that looks like from a customer's perspective. So first and foremost, you know, we provide this with the same flexibility that you expect from a Magento or Adobe Commerce product. You know, you have complete control over how the look and feel of this is for the end user, and it's built in the same way that most of the theming and templating is done within Adobe Commerce. You're not having to design this in a third-party system and then have it iframe in or JavaScript in and replace different areas of your content on site. So it's a much more natural fit for building into your user experience already. Obviously, ultra fast results. Okay, so we're querying and returning results in millisecond time, and because we're not delaying that send, you know, to say, you know, cut down on the number of queries or anything, we're able to send that and tailor the results on every keystroke that's coming into the site. So as you are typing, the results are changing and they're predicting what you're going to be typing next. Obviously, we're making use of the synonym features, both one and two-way synonyms built into the platform and ready to use for your customers. When the customer actually goes to a search results page, okay, so they can click directly from that search dialog into the product. But if they wanted to go to a search results page, we have the common sort of filtering on the left-hand side, but these are prioritized and ordered based on the type of search that the customer is making. So depending on the product that the customer is, or the products that the customer is viewing, those attributes and those filters on the left-hand side will be prioritized accordingly. We can continually infinite scroll and see more and more results coming through. But you're still able to use the common things like sorting by certain attributes and providing those features to your end users. We've already covered that. So from a merchant and partner experience, what does this kind of mean for you guys? Let's just make sure that this is caught up. There we go. So intelligent faceting, right? Again, we're mentioning this again, but being able to control exactly what attributes are being shown to the user, but then also just saying, hey, I want these ones to be at the top, but all of the other ones, let's prioritize them dynamically depending on the customer that's coming through the site, depending on the products that they're viewing. So we might want category to be towards the top all the time, but then all of the other attributes, we might want them to be prioritized depending on the type of product that the customer is searching for. Now, merchandising rules are a really interesting. Let's just make sure that's caught up. Merchandising rules are a really interesting feature set. What this is allowing you to do is create boost and bury type features within your search results. So if you've got a new product that's gone live, you might want to boost that within the search results for a period of time. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be right at the top, it's just going to have a slightly boosted score within the algorithms. But we do have pinned results. So you can pin certain products to the top of the search results if you want. Same sort of thing with hide, right? You can hide, for instance, products that are on sale, or maybe low value, low margin products. You might want to hide them from certain search results. They're still in the site. You can still browse to them. You can still find them, but they might be hidden or lower down in the buried in the search results. This gives you that control to be able to go in and do that, not only as a global rule, but also as a timed rule for a period of time that maybe lines up with the marketing campaign or a new product launch campaign. Now, in terms of managing those rules, all of it can be done through the admin, right? We're not asking you to go to a third-party system. We're asking you to use the tools that are already there. You're already in the Magento admin. So, we're giving you all of the flexibility built into that same platform. You're not having to manage multiple different programs or different URLs or anything like that. It's all just available to you straight in the one platform. And last couple of slides, and then we'll very quickly run through a demo. Powerful synonyms. Okay, so we all know the power of synonyms, being able to do one-way and two-way synonym searching in your search results, being able to manage this on your own catalog, and being able to create these at a drop of a hat. So as you see more searches coming in, if you need them to be redirected to other keywords, then you can go in and create those powerful synonyms alongside all the type ahead searching and stuff that is already built into the platform. And again, all of that synonym power is built directly into the admin, so really easy for you to control. Now, I've got a couple slides here which are just summary slides. Let's get to them. This is a slide just saying about the rollout. We've got a really strong roadmap for product recommendations and live search. There's a huge amount of features coming to these over the next 6 to 12 months. It's continuous development. They actually have a separate release cadence to the core product, so you're not having to wait between major releases of commerce to get those new updates. So keep an eye out. Go and keep an eye out. Maybe follow some of the product team on socials and things, and see when we're talking about this, because there's some really great features coming down the pipeline that you'll want to be using and you want to be ready to be using. Just a summary, sort of built exclusively for Adobe Commerce, available on the marketplace. You can essentially pull it in using Composer as you normally would. And what we'll do very quickly, because I realize the time, is we will quickly do a demonstration of how easy it is to configure and set up live search. So if I go back to my screen share. Cool. I think that's coming through to everyone. So we've got another example site here, Luma setup, and we're just going to start typing yoga, right? As soon as I start typing it, it's giving me suggestions. It's giving me products that it's going to show to me based on other people searching and those search results. If I start typing another word like shorts, okay, it's going to instantly adjust those products and the suggestions on the side. And I can even start filtering based on other attributes like women's shorts, and it will again type ahead that search results, give me really great recommendations for the products that I might be looking for. Now, let's say I'm looking for a jacket. I'm not exactly sure what type of jacket, so I want to go to the search results. Now, I'm in the search results, and you can see that by the filters on the left-hand side, categories and price, and then size are at the top. That makes a lot of sense, okay? So categories make sense, might want to filter by men's and women's. And then price, if I have a price range, I might want to filter, but then size, I obviously want to make sure that it's available in my size.
18 degrees Celsius. Tonight, you can expect a low of 11 degrees.
Sorry about that. Now, if I search for bag, for instance, you can see that categories and price is still at the top, and now strap and handle are at the top. And that's because the AI is looking at the products that are being searched and the keywords that are being searched and deciding what attributes need to be towards the top of the filtering on the left-hand side to give the customer the best result. Okay, so what we're going to do now is just jump into the admin and we'll have a look at how to kind of set those up and how to manage all of those different bits. Faceting. So these are your filters on the left-hand side. You can see categories, price, and manufacturer are pinned facets. That means that we're saying we always want those to be at the top. Now, even though we've said manufacturer, we always want it to be at the top, the AI is recognizing all these products are made by the same manufacturer. So we're not going to show that option to the customer because it's not providing further filtering information. Now, we come down and we've got dynamic facets. So these are the ones that we're going to ask the AI to automatically prioritize. We're going to choose the number of values that we want to see, but we can also select the selection type. So whether it's a single or multi-select option within the search results. So that's, again, all controllable from within the admin for us. If I go to synonyms, here you can see a few examples where we've got, common American spelling, pants and trousers, meaning two-way synonyms. So if you search for one or the other, they essentially mean the same thing. But then we've got one-way searches like common misspellings and those sorts of things. And then finally, we get to the rules. Now, rules is probably the most powerful feature in here, apart from just the AI product recommendation engine. Being able to influence that engine with things like, depending on the type of search query, we can, if somebody searches a query containing the word yoga, we can see a preview of what that might look like. Then we can choose to boost a product like the low-no short, right? We might choose that we want that product to be boosted. We get a preview of that search here. We can maybe add another event to bury the adventure DVD. And then we can that's pushed all the way down the list to be buried. Now, you can get very granular with this. Obviously, you've got the option to set this up for different date ranges and have it coincide with, marketing events that you might be running as well. And there's going to be more and more work around these rule-based features for you guys to continue to innovate on this. Perfect. So we'll come back to the presentation. I think there's just one slide left, which is my end slide. And what I'd like to do now is just open it up to any questions that you guys might have. If we've got time, Kuba, I'm not sure if we do.
Yeah, we have some time.
Perfect. Are there any questions in the room?
We have 3 questions. So I just want to move to the stage to give you an overview of the audience. So you are not just talking to the screen. So let me turn on camera here. Okay.
Oh, I can see a bottle.
Yeah, so now you are on the stage. And first question is from Piotr about product recommendations.
Yes.
Can you give some estimated dates when it will also fully support B2B? Because right now there's not that much of that.
Yeah, so it's definitely something that we're working on. I don't think we've got a public date for it, but it's something that we're actively working on. The main thing that's holding us back is the support for the shared catalog pricing. Okay, so the unique pricing and then the product availability. But we have internal discussions going on at the moment. We've got some trials going on, at the moment internally to show like, you know, how we want that to work. But yeah, 100%. It's I can't give you an exact date for it, but it's very, very high on the priority list to get it out to you as soon as possible.
Okay, and then another question is from Robert about search. Is there an option to add custom URL parameters in Sensei AI, Magento backend marketing recommended products?
Okay, so like the sort of the current out of the box features to if somebody searches a certain keyword, to have it direct to a specific product or URL.
Okay, and I think this is the last question from Jens. Is there any plan that search will support CMS content?
Yeah, again, that's incredibly high on our feature list to be able to support search CMS content. So, you know, with the flexibility and feature set that's in Page Builder, hugely important for us to make that available to people. Again, I can't share a specific date with you guys, but it's on the roadmap for sure.
Okay, and are there any questions here? Okay.
I have a question about Polish language in Adobe Sensei.
Yep. So we support multiple languages in the live search and product recs. They can be, you know, we support different character sets and all that sort of stuff as well. The only bit that we're aware of from a roadmap perspective is the kind of translation of different synonyms and things between different languages. That's definitely something that's on our roadmap, but you can have it set up for multiple store views with, you know, the individual languages set up. That's not a problem.
Thank you. And more questions from the room? Okay. There are no questions. You can still ask your questions later on Hopin. I think Jason will be there for some time. If not, we will email him questions anyway. So we will try to get them back to you. So if it's a good chance, if you have any questions about the future of this tool feature, just ask questions on Hopin. Jason, thank you very much. Oh, so you can see me. Thank you very much for your presentation. Hopefully next time you can join us in person. This time I'm happy that it worked well, and thank you very much for this presentation.
Thank you so much. Everyone have a great day. Really good to meet you guys and hopefully see you guys in person at some point in the future.
Thanks.